Nowadays, it seems like just about everybody wants to sell a membership to something, whether it's to a mastermind group, a gym, or a local organization. The first thing you need to take into consideration is how do people register? How do you accept payments? And of course, you want to also figure out, is it going to connect to your accounting platform like QuickBooks Online? Well, during this video, we're going to show you an unboxing of the membership software, Join It. Hey, Tonya, I'm excited to do another one of our dive into apps on the market today. We've got a kind of a cool one to look at together today, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited. This is something that I have a lot of interest in. Let's do it.
Yeah. So basically, as I pull up my screen to share here, what we're looking at is an application. It's called Join It, joinit.com. And it's a membership type of application. I've been looking for some time now with QB Community Live to kind of create some kind of a membership site for everybody to where we can see where people are at, build something out where they can actually like promote their own services and so much more, even tickets to events, everything else. So we thought, hey, this might be kind of a cool way to get it set up. In a normal fashion, we like to do these unboxings to where the only thing I've done is gone in so far and set up just my login. But this is once you set up your username and password, this is the exact thing you see. So we're going to both kind of go through this, just give our first opinions to all of this. So rough estimation to membership count. Now the pricing, if I remember correctly, I'll go back and we can follow up on that later. Doesn't really impact it. I'm going to leave it at 100 to 5. Actually, I'm going to go 100 to 500 for now. You should be able to expand it further, of course. So next thing, name of membership type. So community membership or professional membership? What do you think?
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm assuming it's going to let us create more than one type, right? So,
This is what your members can purchase to be part of your organization. Don't worry, you can always add more or edit later. So it's the initial one.
right. So,
Let's go with their example of basic membership first.
yeah, I think that's a good idea because when you think about how these types of organizations often function, if you're thinking about like nonprofits that are like trade organizations or things like that, they're often going to have more types of memberships than just one. So I'm glad that that's
Yeah.
a part of this.
So memberships automatically rebill. Yes, optional. I'm going to put yes, because obviously the goal with this is we don't have to manage as much of this as possible. Membership expirations will be calculated by the date joined or on a specific date. That's very interesting. So I like that idea that, the nice thing of there's one thing about having it all at the beginning of the month, right? But
Mhm.
for cash flow, everything else, it's kind of nice to have it split up across everything. So I'm going to say date joined. We can always change it, of course. And
Yeah, and
membership should be rebuilt. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say again, like some like if we're thinking of these trade organizations, like if there's something set by bylaw, like your membership must renew at the beginning of the next year or something, that will have to be set on that specific date.
Yep. And you know me, I always like the advanced. Okay. I thought the only thing was give me a description for the advanced at first. So advanced options here, we've got name, registration type, individual or group, being company, which I like. So
Yes.
that's important. The ability to have a company and have multiple members, part of it, I would assume.
Mhm.
Status types displayed as display
So
settings.
to take this to like QB Community Live, basically, if a basic membership just included me, that might be individual. But
Yep.
if you had a separate, like, more advanced type of membership, then I could join, and Leslie King, our quality assurance manager, could be a part
Yep.
of that group membership. I love that.
Yeah. So profit constructors would be the group, and then you both would each be individuals, it sounds like.
Right.
Price type fixed donations for nonprofits. Member sets the price. I wonder if you can do a minimum. Let's see. Ah, that's
Interesting. Well, so this is an interesting thing too, because I know over here in the world of where I normally live, a lot of the trade organizations in the construction space
yeah.
do have members setting the price because they offer a range based on like annual gross revenue.
I bet that could be different groups we also set up as well. But how do you validate that would be
Go ahead. I think most of those groups do it on the honor system.
okay. So I'm going to go to fixed on this one. It's nice to see that, but let's go fixed to be safe
Yeah, for sure.
for the moment, and we'll go finish. So setup is super easy. Um, you know, I like the layout, the onboarding that this is going through feels pretty nice right off the bat. So create a membership record. I'm sure there'll be a way we can invite somebody, right?
Let's see.
Uh, Send confirmation email. Do you have a different email than your normal that can be on the video?
Sure. Let's do you let's throw my personal one out here because it's actually kind of fun anyway. It's I write for fun at Gmail. Okay.
Everybody be nice to her unless you have writing
Oh, come
offers
on.
for her, please.
Come on. Yeah, bring them on.
Profit con joined via admin. You are the smartest accountant. Who knows? Okay. Basic membership, 75 bucks, all memberships. So if we had different ones, we'd see it there. Quantity, so we could sell more than one. What happens if we do that? Ha ha, look at
So this
that.
is where if you have this individual type of membership, you can add two that are connected. Interesting.
We'll create connected membership records. That's dope. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll play with that later. So we
Yeah.
do these kind of as a quicker video as first feel, and then we'll do a deeper dive as a secondary for those that are interested to see more. And we're gonna do no payment right now, but includes online payment, includes offline payment. No. We're gonna go no payment for the moment because it would take too much time to try to set that part up. And let's go add a member. And do you mind on your side pulling up
Yep.
what that email looks like? And maybe you could forward it to my email and I can pull it up on screen pretty easy.
Will do.
So then as she's kind of doing that, I'll just talk through some of the stuff here. We now have a members table. The member, of course, has the ability that they can update their own details, member of a group. So group membership. So let's look on the side here, update group name, all group members. Oh, so the group. All right. So basic membership as the group. Oh, look at this. Group name is yours here.
Well, yeah, because that's what we put as the, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Not sure if I love that. That's interesting.
Well, but let's hold on. So now if we've done that, can we add members to that specific
Group.
group? Types, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's go. So we're going to circle back to that. We're going to go over to settings right now.
Yeah, by the
And
way, that email hasn't come in yet, so it'll be interesting to see how long that takes.
okay. All right, so billing. Usually I do this at the end, but we'll take a quick peek here. We are on the trial portion of it. You get a nonprofit discount. So $29 a month is up to 500 members. That's okay. Good to know why they're asking that. Probably was on their website as well. 3% service fee for online transactions if you're using their stuff, which one of the reasons we're looking at this specific one, right, is because it will integrate for us for QuickBooks Online. It also integrates to EventBrite where I can set up specialized events, sell tickets for it. It goes through Stripe and it's supposed to basically take and link all of these pieces together to where we're not as accountants having to do even more work, which is the intent of this, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it integrates with MailChimp as well, right? So
Yeah.
at every point along that automation structure, as soon as someone joins, you don't have to think about it, grab that information, go and add it to your Constant Contact or MailChimp or whatever you're using. You don't have to think about it again and now add it into your QuickBooks. Like the goal is that all of that is automated as soon as someone clicks the button on your website to join.
Yeah. So I agree completely. And then so growth package, basically it's going up, admin only custom fields, members directory. So really this is where we would want to be starting at.
Mhm.
Up to 1,500 members, a little bit better rate, 3 admins. I would agree. So I'm feeling like 49 is a real good starting point. Branding. I mean, I don't like branding being on there, but it's not the end of the world. Yes. So manage admins. We should only have the one, so we really shouldn't be able to do it unless we do more. Data settings. We are US current. Boom. We've got manage connections. Okay, so this is our third-party app integrations.
Mhm.
And if you want me to push any buttons on stuff, I'm good at pushing buttons. You can direct me. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't connected anything, I'm guessing is why that's not popping anything.
Yeah, that's interesting. So where is the place that you would go to set them up would be my next question.
Yeah, I would
I
have
don't-
thought it'd be there.
Yeah.
So, well, let's see if maybe, well, let's
Quick.
go automations.
Oh yeah, there you
Automations.
go. Now we found it.
But we think they'd be in one place. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
not
don't
the end
love
of the world.
that. Yeah.
So, like we were saying, so Stripe is, great. So you can do your processing of payments. QuickBooks Online, we live in that ecosphere, the Intuit sphere, as I like to call it. MailChimp, of course. So Zapier, I do judge apps by whether or not they connect to Zapier. I'm always willing to accept if they connect to Zapier and they're still adding other things on. It's a good buffer zone kind of thing as an app is growing. But they're playing with the big boys. You can
Mhm.
see like a lot of the bigger stuff. A lot of it's email focused. Zoom, um, webhooks is great if you want to do a lot of your own custom stuff where each action you can capture a webhook or like a URL, an activity off of it and do whatever you want with it, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
okay. Automated emails. The Okay, that's so when a member joins, um, so you should have received, did you get anything yet?
No, it's fascinating that this is taking so long. I have checked spam a couple of times. It's not there either.
Let's
So
make sure I typed it right. I am an accountant, not a English major.
I
I
write
write for
fun.
fun at,
That's it. Yeah, that's
okay.
correct. Interesting.
So communication, it looks like they've got ideas for automation chains, of course, payment confirmations.
I like that. So some of
Yes.
this is, again, one of the pluses for me about buying a pre-made system like this is you don't have to think through some of these things that they've already taken the time to think through, right? So if
Yes.
you want to sort of plug and play and get things going, it's a great way to do that. Right now it's you, right? So like if you
Yeah.
don't have this large administrative staff to be writing out custom email templates for you right now, just plug and play, go with it, and then you can tweak as you go. Or the same if you're thinking about some of these smaller organizations, smaller nonprofits, often they're not extremely very well staffed, right? Like they have a limited staff. So it just gives the staff of that organization something to run with right off the bat.
I feel like a lot of people they jump into something like this, like I would be for sure, because the desire is if you can build a community, number one, you're providing a resource to everybody, but it's also to gain more membership, more followers, which then can generate the revenue to get you the extra help to help do these things. Like what I would be doing with this is the revenue that comes in, the very first thing I would do is spend all that money on somebody else to help manage this
Yeah,
so it can continue to grow correctly in my mind.
agreed.
So
But again, I just love that they have thought through some of those little things that make it easier for you to plug and play. Oh, yes. What is BOI, Matt? Sneak peek.
uh, it is the business information update thing we have to do, which is not, I obviously, business owner information, BOI. Um, yeah, new businesses have to report more stuff. Yay, the
Yay.
government
Extra rules, more.
or penalty money.
Why won't you leave me alone?
Sorry, Uncle Sam.
I was having this conversation with someone the other day though, and we were talking about, rules regarding like from the Department of Labor and the IRS around who can be considered a subcontractor. And my take on
Yeah,
it always is, if whether I like it or not, these are the rules. And so it's incumbent upon me to learn as much as I can around what needs to be done and try as best I can to follow the rules, right?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, tell me the rules and to play and I will.
Yeah.
So obviously we just saw, I could have changed image. I could have done a whole bunch more, but we didn't do that. We'll do a deeper dive for that stuff. Gives
Yeah.
you a landing page. I
Nice.
will bet if we go into settings, there's probably a way to, I'm sure you can put this onto your own domain of some sort. Um, let's go back
Is
here.
there, I didn't,
Settings.
sorry, I got all caught up in BOI stuff. Is there a way you
Yeah.
can set like a price to like buy a ticket to the event? Where did I miss that?
So event settings, I was just on right now. We've got sync event updates from EventBrite. So EventBrite's the primary, it looks like.
Yeah.
Um, check-ins, orders, import orders to create prospect members. So you would, the way it would work is in this event, you would organize it, I'm guessing, sending them, I mean, you can do a lot of stuff here. So the fact that you can get to code view means you can do markup. So if you do like a Word to HTML editor or something like that to make it look nice and clean, you could put stuff into that.
Like
The
you can add
URL,
images.
yeah, I'm guessing the URL would be used to go to EventBrite, or it could be that if we actually connected EventBrite, you get more functions there as well, is what I
Makes
would
sense.
guess.
Yep.
I don't have an account, so I'd have to come back to that part, but we can follow up on a bigger video for that part.
That totally makes sense. And again, I think this is really smart on the part of whomever created Join It. Plug and play, work within the ecosphere. If they don't need to take the time to write out all the code to code in here how to, add a price for the events because they made the decision to connect with EventBrite, I think that's actually genius, right? EventBrite is going to do that work, and then you just plug it in to Join It.
Yeah. Look at that. Use this tool for your organization to set and collect taxes or fees on membership dues. While the tool is simple to use, we know it's important to get the taxes right.
Right.
Which means, so anybody, I commend them for starting to do this part, but really check with your tax professional. You want to make sure the way this is done. Look at that. Fee never changed. Tax fee changes.
I love how they're even just saying that right in here. You should consult with your own tax advisor about your obligations, right? Like we're going to give you some tools, but we're not giving you the advice. You've got to reach out to someone who really knows what needs to be done here.
You know what that's called, right?
Yes. See why.
So,
but it's smart on their part.
Yes,
And
very smart.
Commendable, because I would rather that the apps be directing them the direction of the correct advisor.
So then they have insights, but there's not much we can do yet because we don't have anything, right? But renewal memberships report, all memberships report
Nice.
active, custom membership reports, automated reporting, monthly, weekly metrics. That's neat as well.
Love that.
And then let's go view profile. Okay, so this is the community. We'd have more membership options. Let's go back here. This will be the best group ever. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Opened in a new window, which was nice as well.
Yes.
And let's go account settings. Create a new organization.
Interesting.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So I could actually do it for others too.
In one. Yeah, that's great.
So the one thing I haven't seen yet, data settings, was I want a custom domain. Import membership database. Nice. That's important.
Yep.
How's my integrate with EventBrite is our deepest integration.
I feel like, Matt, when you and I were looking at this before we decided to work on this today, there was something about embedding it on your
That's what I'm looking for
site.
right now. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to find. Because you can do stuff, embed work. Just go WordPress.
There we go.
Okay. So a new way to connect your membership page, blah, 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 through collection. This means members can use their login credentials used and join it to log into your WordPress website. I really don't want that.
No, that's not what we were looking for.
Embed a custom domain, really.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, custom organizations can use their own domains in their membership to access the member portal. Requires DNS. That's fine. So if you're currently on the extra package, okay, extra, like custom word nowadays. So, all right. So we try to keep these pretty short. First thoughts, first looks. What do you think?
Like I said, during the thing, I think from a simple standpoint, they have it really well thought out for a smaller organization that wants to just plug and play, not have to put a whole lot of thought into some of these initial starting points. I'm not so sure it would work for some very large organizations, but for something that's fairly small, to get something up and running, it looks great to me.
Well, I think it's possible it could work for even larger organizations, because keep in mind, we purposely selected the 1 to 500 range,
True.
and there were other functionalities of it that
That's
we
true.
possibly weren't seeing. So,
Fair point.
my first thoughts on it, and then what we'll end up doing is I'll go through and do more of a setup, and then we can do a deeper dive into the functionality of it, of course. But I've looked at a lot of different websites of a lot of different apps in this realm, and I do like it. I want to make sure there's probably a way we can customize the coloring, the fonts, some of that stuff to make it feel more like mine is important.
True.
The layout was super easy to understand. Like everything was sized nicely. It was pretty intuitive where to go to different things. I do feel the automation could have been in the bottom part, but at the same time, having it out, like, because I only need that automation till I set it up, and then I don't want it there.
Right. I
Right.
agree.
Yeah,
And I'm interested for a deeper dive because I want to know more things like exactly how does it integrate with QuickBooks Online? Exactly how would it interact with Slack? Those types of things where it's like, well, how is that helpful? And what do those integrations look like? It's going to be really fun to dive into deeper.
I bet you can even, like, when you have a payment that fails, it can send a Slack notification, all those kind of things. You can have certain people notified that way too. So
Even if it couldn't do that directly through its Slack integration, you could do that through
Zapier, yeah.
Zapier. So
Zapier
there's
makes
all
you
kinds
happier.
of ways.
Yeah. So Tonya, thank you so much for jumping in on this. We hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will follow up later with a deeper dive. Bet you guys thought this video was already done. It's not yet. This is part 2. We're doing extended because we started pushing more buttons. And what we ended up finding was when we went over to this member, profile settings, we forgot to show this part. We went to set up a member directory. And once we did it, because we actually tried to trial at a lower level, we didn't see some of these other functions right off the bat. So that's one thing that app I would recommend. If you're giving a free trial, you always give everybody the taste of everything. Let them know it's extra feature wise. I mean, I guess they kind of did. So, but this was something we really wanted.
Start the free trial at like everything that you could ever do, right? Like make people have to give stuff back to go to your lower package, right?
With the exception of enterprise. I actually would say like they're probably the most popular, because in that realm, they're probably trying to set people up to go where they want them to go anyways.
True. Yeah, I agree.
So this was a big area that we were talking about is, hey, we want to have this members directory, but we want to make sure we're only choosing I like this.
Yes.
Email, job title, cares, nobody. So limited, see, this is exactly why I want this.
Yes.
I've always wanted to do this. So for our community, whenever there's a natural disaster somewhere, it's the impetus of all of this is I want to know remember who's where, right? So we can reach out and make sure they're taken care of.
But you don't want to have a public listing of their full address. This is brilliant.
Exactly.
Also, this is something that I really like as well, because again, thinking about like trade organizations, what if you want someone to come to that trade organization's member directory and say, hey, I'd like to find someone who is a member of this organization. So with QB Community Live, I want to find an accountant who's associated with QB Community Live to do work with, and you can display that directory publicly.
So what I was just seeing here, membership types as well. I'll dive deeper, but what I'd like to see is the ability to create custom. There was at a higher level custom tags, I believe. So like for us, we would want to have the ability to do like industry.
Yes.
Membership settings, membership fields. There we go. We almost did everybody an injustice, but we wanted to kind of the balancing between a short video and giving you guys everything, right? So custom membership fields. So now we could do something where it's by industry or by accounting platform. There's a lot of different things you could like specialize your setup on. Member fields, admin fields. Oh, membership and member fields. Okay. So
I think, again, just going back to the admin fields that were there too. I mean, I think that it's looking to me anyway, until we get further into this little deep dive, but it's looking to me when you click on the manage fields again, but there's some, like if you want to organize for the admins so that they can pull out specific data and specific reporting. I really just like the way that they've kind of thought this all the way through from that side of things. Like what is important to membership type organizations?
Membership cards. That's really cool too.
Yes.
Discounts, great. Gift memberships. So you could do like scholarships.
Yep. Love it. One thing I'm not seeing here, and I know this is specifically built around the memberships, but that gift membership thing kind of made me think about it. Some organizations like to be able to sell sponsorships. I'm wondering if there's any way that that could be done through here as well. That you could have.
What do you mean by sell sponsorships?
So, for instance, if Kiwi Community Live were to say, "Hey, brought to you by," I wonder if there would be, because ultimately, it'd be like one big checkout page, right? You'd have one big checkout page where you could become a member, or you could sign up for an event, that kind of thing. Whereas everything's on one page.
And I would also like to see if there's a way that members could actually add things to sell themselves with a piece going to the house.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe that's where some other integrations could come into play. So
yeah, lots of things to think about in that regard.
all right. So if you liked this conversation, let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. We're going to be doing these back and forth on each other's channels, and sharing them back and forth. So everybody, as always, here's wishing you all a very successful week.